I'm trying not to be too judgmental, but I'm being super judgmental. Alright, it is Wednesday the 4th, which I should have done a vlog a while ago, but I am having a difficult time vlogging at the moment. My little like pop socket on my phone peeled off, and it's gonna take me like 2 to 3 weeks to get the new one, even though I ordered it already, so we'll see how it goes. So we are officially in Monsterathon, and I am super excited about that. Let's see, I think the very first day, like on the first, I read Infidel, and I think it's only one comic, or one book, one novel, graphic novel. I'm not, honestly, I don't know exactly what it is, because what people were telling me on the internet, you know, because we can totally count everything we see on the internet as true, that there were 3 releases. So I'm not sure if this is a compilation of different like issues that were just put all together, or if this is the first issue and I just can't find the other 2. But either way, I finished it. It was like 170 pages, and I don't even really know how to express what it was exactly. I was told, and there definitely is a lot of themes about racism, and not even having like a deep conversation, but having at least a more nuanced conversation about racism and Islamophobia in particular, that we don't really get, especially in like in a horror setting. We get some very tropey horror things, like it's a cursed apartment building, honestly, but the way that we're able to sort of weave in personal traumas and the issues of any sort of prejudice, it is really good, even if it is perhaps a little bit on the nose. And yeah, I like there's a lot to it. Like I said, these conversations aren't very deep per se, like we don't get like the complexity of each argument, but we do, it's not presented as like a black and white issue either, so there's a little bit of nuance and complexity in each topic, and it's more to make you think about what people are saying and why they're saying it, rather than giving you like, you know, shoved down your throat kind of any like prescriptive narrative, which I really appreciated. It does appear like there might be another issue coming out, or there might be another novel in the future, and if there is, I am definitely picking this up. Took a couple days off because it was Labor Day weekend, and I spent the day with my husband, mostly watching terrible movies and playing games and drinking and eating and generally being lazy bums. But I started Dracula, and it's an audiobook, so I'm getting through it. I'm not enjoying myself so much, and again, like, I know the reason why. I don't like books that are told through diary entries and reports and like newspaper articles. Like, typically I just don't like them, and there's never a break from that. It's letters between people, it's diary entries. I'm only about 15% of the way through. Like, we've gone through all of the Jonathan Harker like initial diaries where he's at the Dracula castle and blah 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 blah, and we're getting through Mina and Lucy's letters back and forth to one another at the very beginning. So we're still kind of in the I would say like in the transition to the second act. But yeah, I'm not enjoying myself as much as I had hoped, even with the audiobook. I'm waiting for Tim Curry to show up, essentially. I know that he enjoys doing villains, so I'm like, he's gonna be Dracula. I'm like 90% sure he's gonna be Dracula. If he's not, he's Dr. Van Helsing. Like, there's no way he's not one of those two characters. It just has to be. So I'm very interested to see him, but I'm sort of slogging through this just to get to him. I am currently trying to listen to stuff and like do stuff on the computer that's kind of mindless, so stuff in World of Warcraft, because that's what I'm doing right now. Fishing and herbalism and mining, because my guild needs stuff, so I'm going to get them the stuff. Yeah, that's kind of it. I am editing my vlog in big quotations for this week. We did go see a bunch of animals at a nursery. It's an elephant nursery, but it's also a sanctuary. The owners of this like 60-acre plot or whatever it is, they work with the local government to make sure that, you know, if there's any sort of animal trafficking, or if people find like baby animals where their mothers have been poached, and they have no other ways of getting them like back in the wild, that they get taken care of. And while, I mean, you can always, you know, give them to local zoos or whatever, the private owners of this land, they seem to do a better job of taking care of the animals and, you know, making sure that eventually, if they can release them to the wild, that they do. But yeah, was really happy to be able to give them a little bit of support and money, and it honestly, it was a fabulous time. It was like a 3-4 hour guided tour around their yards, and as a lot of explanations and a lot of like very honestly sad and touching stories about each animal, because they're small enough where they have the stories about each animal. It's not just, well, you know, we got another one, or we're just sort of hoarding them in any sort of way. So it was quite nice. So editing that, hopefully that will be up by Friday. Got a couple more days. And then I gotta figure out what I want to do for the rest of the month. It's not that I'm in a creative like drought or anything. I just don't know what to do right now, because I have October pretty much like done. I have 4 videos that I'm ready to edit and post while I'm back in the States, but I don't have anything for September. So I gotta figure that out pretty soon. Hope you enjoy today, and I will see you tomorrow, question mark, maybe, I don't know. So, see you. Tapped my oil, but it is Thursday, and yeah, it's been a weird day, I would say. I read more of Dracula, and Tim Curry is totally the voice of Dr. Van Helsing, so I am all about that. I'm a little sad that Van Helsing does not have a whole lot of like narrative. At least it doesn't seem like so far. I'm not even halfway. I think I'm like a quarter of the way through. I'm not 100. I'm sort of like arbitrarily making up numbers as I go along. Sort of like, well, this is how much time it has passed. But I think I'm about 20 to 30 or 25 to 30% of the way through. We've just gotten to the point where Lucy and her mother have passed on, and everyone's so sad. So yeah, I'm slogging through, but I want to get through it. Let's see, I recorded a video today, I did some editing, I'm watching Mindhunter season 2 right now, because season 1 was really good. I sort of blasted through it, but I'm taking my time with season 2. Made bread today. I'm feeling like I should just start up like Instagram again. Like, I use it mostly for like travel stuff, so you know, I post every day that I'm out in the world, or I've done something, you know, out in the world. But my day-to-day stuff is like really rather mindless and dumb. But I don't know, maybe I can figure out this aesthetic stuff and whatnot. So everyone is saying, yeah, go for it so far. I'm still gonna wait until tomorrow to make any like definitive decision, and then I guess I'm gonna go through my bookshelf, as limited as it is, and take some photos and figure that out. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to aesthetic. So we're gonna see about that. A whole lot interesting really today. I decided to try to like curl my hair instead of just like leaving it either straight or out, like the weird kinkiness that happens after I braid my hair overnight. It wasn't terrible. Like, most of the curls have come out by now. It's like almost 6 in the evening. It was nice while it lasted, but I feel like it did its job for the day. I felt pretty and like I was sort of put together more than I normally am. I guess that's all for right now. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. This is the look of someone who accidentally took a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day. Oops. So I guess y'all want me to start Bookstagram, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Especially because, yeah, I don't honestly have that many books to take pretty pictures of. So yeah, probably gonna do that. Whenever it is that I go back to the States, I'll pick up some more book locations and such and so forth. So yeah, we'll figure that out. Honestly, Dracula is not picking up. I want this to be over so badly. It's the sixth, I think, and like, I don't know, there's not a whole lot for me to talk about with that book. Like, I think I've just like passed halfway. I'm hoping that, because tonight's dinner is going to take a while. It is not a complex soup, but it just takes a lot of prep. So I'm hoping that in those, that hour or so that I'm prepping, things will actually, progress, and I don't know, maybe I'll speed up the audiobook a little bit so that I can get through it. We'll see. Yeah, so I don't think I'll do any blogging this weekend, so I will see you Monday, possibly? Okay, bye. Good morning. It is Monday, the 9th, which is my sister's birthday, so I should probably text her. I'm feeling great. Like, literally nothing happened this weekend that was anything worth, like, sharing, except I'm struggling so much with Dracula, and it's not even like, I'm not even, like, physically reading it. This is an audiobook, so all I have to do is just sit there and listen, but, like, some of the tedium that these journals get into are just, it's mind-numbing. And, like, I know that, that's what journals are. Like, that was a legitimate choice. And when you read somebody's diary entry, like, it's gonna be filled with shit that you just don't care about. But, I would have thought that, at the very least, we would have gotten a little bit more, like, intrigue instead of, this happened and we had lunch. Oh my god. Like, there are two things that bug me about Dracula at this moment. There's the one, because there is such, like, a focus on, like, eating, and, we stopped for lunch and we found somewhere to eat and we ate dinner and we took tea. And, like, I'm so tired of hearing your, like, play-by-play, hour-by-hour schedule. I don't care about it. I just don't. The other one is eyebrows. I know that's such a specific thing, but if you've read Dracula, you know what, like, there's such a concentration on the eyebrows. It's ridiculous. Like, to the point where I think it was Jonathan Harker who said something like, he was distraught, and he was like, to Dr. Van Helsing, you couldn't understand what I'm going through and blah, 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 blah. A man with your eyebrows couldn't possibly know. I'm like, so, because he has amazingly bushy eyebrows, that are super manly, he could never understand despair. That's a thing. That is a thing in this book, in this universe. And the thing is that I'm sure that was a thing, you know, back in early to mid-Victorian times. I can't even with the eyebrows. Oh my god. I don't know. But it's like every time I hear the word eyebrow, I am giggling. And that's almost the only thing that's getting me through this right now. I think I'm about 90% of the way through. I only have a few hours left, like three and a half maybe. I'm dying with this, and I feel like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm totally gonna blow through readathons because that's what I do, and Monsterathon's probably not gonna be any different. And I was like, and I also thought, I was like, you know what, the one that I'm really not looking forward to the most is Dracula, so I will just get it out of the way. And I'm a little bit regretting my decision because this is my first like legit book. Like, I ran through Infidel in a few hours, and now I'm feeling like I'm lagging behind because it's the 9th. We're in our second week and I've only read 2 books. I gotta pick up the pace. I might actually like just sit down today and read the short stories from Unnatural Creatures, because that'll give me a break from freaking Dracula. And then I think I'm looking at my list that's posted like right here. But I don't know. I'll probably pick up either Circle of Shadows or A Curse So Dark and Lonely. That's what I'm thinking about, just to give myself a little bit of like fast reading and not feel like I'm a total failure at life. So I guess that's all for right now. I'm feeling like I need about 12 more hours of sleep, even though I already got like 7 or 8 today. I don't know. I decided to curl my hair yesterday, and I'm kind of surprised that after braiding it and sleeping in it and, you know, and whatnot, the curls are still kind of there. Like, I know it's probably mostly due to the braids, but like, it's not just like that's a curl. That's a curl right there, and it's staying. So I might do that more often because I don't know. I like it when my hair looks pretty. So yeah. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday, the 10th, and I am hating my life right now as far as my reading is concerned. Okay, so I finished Dracula. It was the longest 3 hours of my life, I swear. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just torturous, and I don't know how I got through it, but yeah, I somehow got through the rest of it. I don't know what happened exactly. I just know that Quincy died, and so did Dracula, and everyone's, you know, happy or something at the end. I don't know. But it's over. I'm so over it. I can't believe it took me freaking 10 days to read this stupid thing. But that said, I started Circle of Shadows yesterday as well, and I'm already a third of the way through. While I am very happy about that because this seems to be like a really stupid fast read, I'm also not enjoying myself, like hardly at all. I'm trying not to be too judgmental, but I'm being super judgmental. So Circle of Shadows is about a island nation, you know, just a random island nation that has Asian-inspired roots, but is super confused with this world building and like I was like, oh, you know, what's going on here? Apparently all the food and some of the cultural aspects is all like Japanese inspired, but the rest of it is kind of like awkwardly Japanese. I don't know. I can't really even describe it properly because I obviously have only gotten a third of the way through, but I don't know. It feels clunky. Like, this is not this author's debut novel. Like, this is her third novel, but it feels like a debut. There's things missing, and I can't put my finger on it. But there's definitely things missing, and I'm not about it. But I was thinking about this because every time I pick up a novel written by an Asian American author and they're trying to have like Asian inspired things like world building or characters, you know, mostly the world building, I feel like there's something that doesn't connect, and it's kind of the same thing with all of them. Like, I felt this way about Girls of Paper and Fire. I definitely felt this way about, oh shoot, there was another book that I can't remember at this moment, but yeah, there's something off. And I don't know what it is, but I think there's a deeper conversation that we need to have about Asian American books taking inspiration or trying to bridge the gap between like the super Asian parts of our world building and whatnot and going into a predominantly Western mindset, I think, because there's a disconnect. And and as an Asian American, like, I make the connection just fine because that's my reality. I live it. But then to try to put that on the page is something very different, and I don't know quite what to do about that or to say about that. And I think this is perhaps just a growing pain kind of situation in our collective literature. I don't know, but I'm finding it interesting regardless because my academic little brain just can't stop thinking about shit like this. Even though I have no answers, it's an interesting thing to think about. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. This is getting a 3-star read just because, like, I think it's unfair for me to rate it any lower because I have particular nitpicky things. And it's not even like nitpicky things, like at this point, like, it's bothersome. If you've read A Circle of Shadows, you probably know what I mean, where it's like, well, they talk about how, I guess they're technically a police force that are chosen and they can wield magic or a certain type of magic. It's animalistic magic. So they cast spells particular to those, the characteristics of those creatures. And then they introduce elemental magic, which is weird in and of itself, but that's okay. And they're bonded with a partner called a Gemini, like Gemini, but their police force is called a Taiga, and this new sort of like elite force which is able to use this elemental magic in addition to their animalistic magic are called Ryu, which is Japanese for dragon. Like, I'm doing this on audiobook and I have the physical copy, and I was like, that can't be. Like, the narrator who's reading this can't say Asian words because things, and yeah, I was like, maybe it's something different. Maybe it's like RU, but no, it's do, and it's dragon, and they're not. There's things that I don't understand and that I don't know if I can really get behind. It's irksome. It's distracting is what that is. The main character is Sora, which is again it's a Japanese name, but her best friend is named Fairy, as in like fairies, like Tinkerbell. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm about this. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm having a hard time. I'm probably gonna finish it today. I don't want to spend any more time on this than I have to, so I'm gonna blast through this as much as I can. And then I want to I want to read something that I'm going to enjoy. I don't know. I put up a poll on Twitter because it's either going to be A Natural History of Dragons, Pet Sematary, Curse So Dark and Lonely, or Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I don't know what I want at this point, at this moment, but yeah, hopefully it will be something that I can actually enjoy and get behind, and again, just like sort of run through, because I'm 3 of 11 books. Anything else? So I was looking at my YouTube channel, like analytics or whatever. Dude, y'all didn't really didn't like my nature vlog. Like, the average duration is 1:30. And there's been apparently 11 views. I'm like, Jesus, really? Like, it's animals, it's nature, like, what's not there to like? But apparently you just don't like my non-booktube content. What Remains of Edith Finch was about the same. You were like, oh, this isn't booktube, so we're just gonna click off now. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna do many of these anymore, but oh well. However, on the other hand of that, we're now at 219 current subscribers, and like, so I posted something that you didn't like, and now I have a bunch more subscribers. I'm not sure what's happening, or if it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I need to edit more videos this week, and such and so forth, because things. Might do some more fun content rather than like anything hard-hitting or any more vlogs or something like that. Partially because it's trending, partially because it's like easy content to do and to post and to edit. So we'll see about that. Yeah, I think that's all for now. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. So I finished Circle of Shadows, and I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads because I am a lot peeved. So yeah, beyond the fact that like the weird world building and cultural thing is like bugging the crap out of me. There is cases of insta-love, which doesn't make any sort of sense. I guess she was trying to force a love triangle at like the very end of it or something like that, but yeah, that's kind of weird. And the forbidden love aspect, you know, that was sort of sprinkled in there didn't really, like, it didn't feel good to begin with, and now any of the affections are just really terrible, stupid decisions. Also, like, and not even like stupid decisions of the kids, like there are stupid decisions made by the adults as well, and I am not here for it. Monsterathon started out really good. Like, I loved Infidel. Infidel was so good. Oh my gosh. And then Dracula, like, I expected myself not to like it because I don't like journals. Like, that's just my thing. But I was struggling at the end yesterday. I was struggling all day yesterday. And now I'm struggling all day today. It seems at the moment that Pet Sematary is winning, so I'll probably pick that up tomorrow at some point. If not, it's a Curse So Dark and Lonely. Like, people seem to be like one or the other. There hasn't been a whole lot of voting in the other categories. So I'm gonna make myself some nice pizza, like homemade dough. It's gonna take like an hour, but I don't care. I'm just gonna spend all of this negative energy in the kitchen and eat some delicious food. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Little bird stuck in here. I don't know how I got in, but you're fine, little buddy. Hi. And it's Thursday, and I think it is the 12th. Yes, yesterday was the 11th. Let's see what's going on. Pet Sematary is really good. You guys did not let me down with the poll. I know there were only 3 of you, but I'm still very happy and excited that you said something, because I am very much enjoying myself, and after 2 reads where I was struggling like crazy, I'm enjoying this. I'm already on chapter 20 of I don't know how many, but yeah, I'm gonna try to sort of blow through this as quickly as possible. I feel fit, I feel disgusting. I'm not feeling great. I think I'm worried about my manuscript at the moment, because I decided very last minute and kind of on impulse that I was gonna try to put in an application for Pitch Wars, which, if you don't know what that is, there's Pitch Wars and Pitch Mad. So you've probably seen my or other writers do Pit Mad, which is a Twitter event, and what happens with that is you have one tweet that you can, redo 3 times a day to try to pitch it's like an elevator pitch for your book, and you can, hashtag what categories it's in, what age group, blah 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 blah, and a lot of agents who are on Twitter, they know about this event, and so they're looking for things that they're interested in. So if they like your pitch, you send them your manuscript or like a query letter and whatever they ask for. Pitch Wars, on the other hand, is a mentorship program. So people who have been published before, they put in their application, there's a huge process for them, and then they're announced, and then there's a second round of people who want to be mentored, so writers like me, essentially send in a query to be mentored, and it's a one-on-one mentorship. So it's highly competitive, and it only happens once a year. These mentors will help you polish up your manuscript, they'll help you with your query letter, they'll help you through, a number of processes that, newbie writers like myself just haven't had a chance to do and to try yet. I need to finish my manuscript. And what I mean by finish is I feel like there are a few chapters at the end that I sort of was like, oh no, it'll be fine, I'll put it in the next book, but I think that it needs to be in this book. And also, I've had a couple people say that they weren't in love with my characters as much as they had hoped, or that they were expecting, or something was off about the characters, and I've never had that critique before, so it's worrying me a lot. So I'm going to try to do this. The deadline is in the middle of September, which is, middle of frickin' Monsterathon, which I'm already behind on because fucking Dracula. So I don't know how I'm going to keep my head, but yeah. I'm also a little bit depressed because of things and whatnot, so I don't know. I just don't. When I get depressed, I do one of 2 things. I either work through the depression, which is what I'm doing now, or I just completely fall apart, which is what I have done in the past, so I guess it's time for me to work through it. Anyway, I think I will stop blabbering on about this now and get to reading and get to doing dishes that my husband left out from dinner last night. So, anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. What happens when you don't know how to end a vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below if you haven't already for content that will be much better than this. I promise. I'm so sorry. This was very ranty. I did not have a great couple weeks. So hopefully my content in the future will be a little bit more upbeat. And yeah, thanks again for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, bye!
She said it will never go away. I know there is nothing left to say. Can we try to hold on just for now, even if we don't know how to show them what we're all about?